What's going on, everyone out there in YouTube land? Today, we are going to check out a pod system. And this one has a very interesting name because it's kind of shaped like a submarine, I guess so they say. This one is coming from, you guessed it, Kangertech. This one is called the U-Boat. Yes, the U-Boat as in you, not Y-O-U, but you, like you and me together in a boat. Yes, the U-Boat. I got this loaded up with some of the Nick salt from Ruthless, some of the grape drank on ice, and this I believe is like a 50 milligram Nick salt. So pod system, of course, you want to use a really high Nick like Nick salt or 24 or 36 milligram regular liquid. So got it loaded up. Let's have a few puffs, some mouth to lung vapes, and we'll get into it. All right, let's do it. Not bad. Very, very nice. Now, the U-Boat was sent over directly by Kangertech for the purpose of this review. If you guys are looking to pick one up or check one out after the video, I will have some links posted in the description as always. Going price for the kit, which will include a device and one pod, $15.50. And then to pick up additional pods, you can get a 3-pack for $6.84. So let's have a closer look at the U-Boat pod system. This one coming from Kangertech comes in a nice hard shell plastic box. Inside the box there will be a user manual on the back side. You're going to get the U-Boat device or the battery. They will include one empty pod to get you started, and you'll get a full-size USB charging cable. Now the U-Boat on Kanger's website, they're stating that it has the submarine style and shape to it, that it looks like a submarine, which it kind of does, but to me it honestly looks more like a cigar. And it is constructed of a hard plastic, and I know you think plastic, it might be cheap or feel cheap in the hands, but this is a really hard plastic. I've dropped this thing many, many times, and it holds up quite well, so it does feel real good in the hands. I believe it only comes in black at the moment. Dimensions, 114 millimeters tall with the pod installed, and about 14 millimeters thick. If we compare the U-Boat up against the full-size Bow Plus and the regular Bow, you'll see the U-Boat is bigger than the regular Bow, but smaller than the Plus. Now at the top, they're going to include one empty pod to get you started. All the pods for the U-Boat are empty, so you get to use your own liquid, and I recommend using either Nick salt juice or a high nicotine juice because it is a pod system. These pods will hold 2 mL of liquid, and they're using a 1.5 ohm ceramic coil. Mouthpiece, very, very comfortable because of the little taper we have. And to remove the pod, just pull it out. It doesn't use magnets. It actually has that click and lock feature. So when you press it down, you can actually feel it click and lock into place. It's not going to pop out. And when you remove it, you'll see the fill plug at the bottom. Take your nail, pop the plug out, like so, and then you could fill it up. Now, when using a high nic juice, make sure you have a rag on hand so you can clean it up. You don't want to get high nicotine juice on your hands. Very, very important. And I really don't like using glass dropper bottles, especially with this particular pod, because for one, it's really hard to see your liquid because they're using such a dark plastic. If you hold it up to the light, you could see your liquid level, but as you can see there, it's impossible to see it. So you're not sure how much liquid's in there. And for two, when you try to fit the glass dropper bottle into this little hole, it's really tight. And when I pump it down in there, sometimes it likes to spit back at me because there's no air to release, and also I'm not sure what the level is on the inside. If you plan on getting a high nic juice for your pod system or a Nick salt juice, I recommend something with a nice fine plastic tip on there. These are much easier to use than the glass dropper bottles. So now once you have it filled up, go ahead and take your rag. Make sure you clean it off. Grab this little tiny plug, pop it in there. Now when you purchase additional pods, they're going to come in a blister pack of 3. And what's nice about this is they include 10 extra little butt plugs. So that way if you drop them or if you lose them, you have a whole bag of extra ones on hand. And then once it's all filled up, just go ahead and pop it in place, lock it down, And there's no wrong way to put it in there. You can put it either way. Doesn't matter. And there's no physical buttons anywhere on the battery or the device. So you don't have to turn anything on. You don't have to turn it off. When you inhale, it's going to automatically start vaping and then automatically turn off. There's no fancy LED lights. The only LED light is going to be located at the bottom. And that's going to be your battery indicator light to let you know the status of your battery. And then, of course, we're going to have your contacts at the bottom. Now, the U-Boat is using a 550 milliamp hour internal battery. And this one does put out 3.7 volts with a full charge. Now, the charging cable they include with the U-Boat is actually pretty interesting. It is a small, short cable, about probably 8 inches. But I kind of expect that with the pod systems. They're all kind of small. But what's weird is the part that connects to the mod or the device doesn't use magnets. It doesn't use the click feature. All you do is kind of just smash it in there. And all it does is just kind of grab onto it. So the harder you push on it, the tighter it's going to grab it. And just plug it into any USB port. Plug it into your laptop. Anything with a powered USB port. If I can manage to do this. There we go. And then when you plug it in, you'll see the LED light. And you want to make sure the LED light is facing the opening right there. So go ahead and mash it in there. And there we go. Now it's charging. If you put it in the wrong way, of course, it's not going to charge. And you can vape while charging. It's just going to charge at a much slower rate. But that's pretty much going to be it, guys, for the U-Boat. Let's jump back up and let's have a vape. So let's talk a little... Oh, shit! So let's talk a little bit about the U-Boat. Now, what does the U-Boat offer that all these other pod systems don't offer? Nothing. It vapes just like all the other pod systems, like the Bow, like the Jewel, like the 1K, like the Bird, like the Miley. There's nothing really different when it comes to the vape off these pod systems, at least to me anyways. It all comes down to the features and, you know, what you prefer, what style you like, what kind of features you like. I know the main feature for the U-Boat that a lot of people are going to love is the fact that you can use your own liquid in the pods. The pods arrive empty, which means you could save money using your own liquid, which means you're not going to be going through pods like crazy, and you don't have to hunt down like pods and, you know, use pods with liquid that you've never tried before. You can actually use your own liquid that you enjoy. So I do give it a big thumbs up for that. What I don't like about the pod is that it's very hard to see your liquid level. It's just way too dark, and you have to kind of put it up to the light or take your flashlight, and I've actually done this quite a few times, even though it looks completely ridiculous. Put it up there like that, and you can kind of see your liquid level perfectly. So, kind of wish they, you know, made things a little bit more, I don't know, not as dark on the pod system, so it was easier to check out your liquid. I do like the mouthpiece, very, very comfortable, and the pods work. They work well, so no real complaints. The fill method isn't really my favorite. I don't like the whole plug thing where you pull out the plug, because if you're out and about and you pull that plug out, you got to hold the plug. You're going to get juice on your hands. You might lose it. So, you know, that's a matter of opinion, but it does work and it performs well, so no complaints there. The battery, the device, simple. You know, no buttons on it, no fancy lights, no crazy features. You got one light at the bottom that tells you a little information about your battery, and that's it. That's all you really need to know. Pop the pod in, start vaping. And it's simple. The USB charger is kind of different. Doesn't have a magnet, doesn't have a click and lock feature. Just kind of mash it in there and you charge it. I mean, it's a really simple, straightforward device. I do like the style and the shape, and it is very comfortable. This very kind of hard plastic you would think would be kind of cheap, but actually it feels really good in the hands. It's actually really slippery. Even though it does have this kind of grippy feel to it, it's very slippery, so I drop it out of my hands a lot. But, you know, it works well. It's nice looking. It's not, I'm not going to say it's extremely nice looking. It's kind of boring, actually. But for the most part, it's comfortable. It's easy. It works. And I can use my own liquid. And I've been enjoying it. So, pretty shocked by this one, because I didn't think Kanger would pull this one off. But they did. Congratulations, Kanger, on your first pod. I think it's your first one, isn't it? Is it the first pod from Kanger? I think so. But, yeah, that's it. The U-Boat. If you guys got any comments or questions, you know exactly what to do and where to do it, please hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to everyone very, very soon. Make sure you guys build safe and vape on. You know, a lot of people like the convenience and the affordability of a lot, you know, of blah, 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 ah, 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 ah. right. Stay focused.